5,127. There's a story behind that. This is your daily message from Chad number 785 to upgrade your mental game today by telling yourself a better story. Because the most important story you hear is the story you tell yourself. And this message is dedicated to the encouraging Karen of Barbanel. Have you ever done anything 5,127 times? Just to put that number into perspective, 5,127 days is 14 years. If you did something daily 5,127 times, it would take you 14 years. Can you think of anything you've done 5,127 times? Can you think of anything you failed 5,127 times at? You probably haven't failed 5,127 times at the same thing. Well, James Dyson has. Actually, it's Sir James Dyson. He was knighted by Queen Elizabeth in 2007 for his contribution to business. Dyson would crawl into his house every night covered in dust after working all day in his coach house workshop, a converted garage with no heating, water, or electricity initially. He was exhausted and depressed because that day's cyclone prototype had failed, just like the ones before it. There were times when he genuinely believed it would never work, that he would just keep making cyclone after cyclone until he died. This wasn't just a brief period of struggle. He was 31 when he first ripped the bag off his Hoover vacuum cleaner and started experimenting with a cereal box and masking tape. By the time he had his first production quality Dyson vacuum cleaner, it was his 45th birthday. That's 14 years of what he calls dogged persistence, or as he puts it elsewhere, having the virtues of a mule. During this time, his youngest son, Sam, grew from a baby to walking and talking to entering high school, while Dyson made cyclone after cyclone. The emotional toll was immense. Dyson would lose control completely when models went wrong after weeks of planning, with his son Jacob remembering the sound of acrylic sheets shattering, and the only thing being produced from the workshop was a cyclone of profanity. It would take another 10 years to bring his bagless vacuum to market. That's almost a quarter of a century altogether. The other part of the story is he accumulated 650,000 pounds of debt in the process. He's British, and that was in the 1970s. That's equivalent to about $5 million today. His wife continually signed her name and everything they owned toward banknotes. Can you believe the confidence his wife had in him? Now, Dyson runs a billion-dollar company and a university to train more engineers and designers. He is the sole owner, never taking the company public. Dyson says success tells you nothing. Failure is interesting. It's part of making progress. You never learn from success. You do learn from failure, end quote. The better story to tell yourself today is, I will not quit. I will persist. Failure isn't final. Defeat is just data. Quitters do not win, and winners do not quit. Every setback is seen not as a wall, but as a mirror, showing you where to adjust, grow, and evolve. This is not naive optimism. This is strategic realism. It's the mental habit of searching for value in every experience. The weak mind says, why me? The trained mind says, what's the lesson here? And then it adjusts, it moves forward, it evolves. And over time, this habit creates a person who is practically immune to defeat. Not because of avoiding it, but because this person turns it into fuel. What made you think what you were doing would be easy? Doggedly persist. Don't quit. Quitters cannot win. Winners cannot quit. Don't quit and you can't fail. Tell me a story of painful, patient persistence to fromchadsmith@gmail.com. You can always leave a comment on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. You can download my book, The Most Powerful Story in the World, by going to fromchad.gumroad.com. The transcript of this message and hundreds of others are always available at www.fromchad.com.